Hi everybody, this is Christine Bertram and I'm coming to you on a Tuesday to talk to you about another tip. And this tip comes to you because of Roxanne. She asked me a few days ago if I had ever done a Tip Tuesday on reversible stamps because she had just come across them. And I thought to myself, oh, I don't know if I did or if Kelly did. So we're going to do one. I know when I did a paper pumpkin alternative card earlier this year with the mountains, I used a reversible stamp set, but I don't know if I went into much detail about what reversible stamps are all about. So I wanted to tell you what they're about, show you how you can find them in the catalog and how to stamp with them. So there's two sets that I could identify very easily, and they're actually both on the same page in the annual catalog. One is called Jar Flowers and the other one is called Mountain Air. So I'm going to go over briefly about reversible stamps with you today. So I'm going to flip the camera down and show you in the catalog on page 4. There's some different icons here, and one is new product, reversibles, distinctive, quick and easy projects, and then this one denotes if it's in English or French for the stamp set. This is what I want to draw your attention to, the reversibles. It's specialized photopolymer stamps with images on both sides. So what does that mean? When you see a stamp set that has this shadow, like I look at it as a shadowy, like gray, that means that that stamp is designed to be reversible. So if you're trying to figure out easily where to find something in the catalog and you know the name of it, but you don't know the page number, definitely go to the index. Page 16 is where we're going to find the Jar of Flowers and the Mountain Air. Both of these were carryovers from previous catalogs. This one has a matching punch, and I did go over on a Tip Tuesday when you can see this outline in this color. That means that there's dies or there's punches that coordinate with it, but this darker image here correlates to the reversible. And you can see right here, if I bring this up a little closer, you can see that it says reversible, and right here it says reversible. Well, how does that work? So Jar of Flowers is super cool because you can make it look like there's water in the stamp. So, in the jar, I should say. So these are some samples I've got already in here, but one of the things that Stampin' Up! Started to transition to in this last catalog is, so this is what denotes that there's a punch. It gives me the item number. So they went away from printing the pictures on the acrylic sheets here, or these cellophane sheets. And on the inside cover of the Stampin' Up! Case, or the stamp case, is where it's printed. So you've got here, these are the two reversible ones and the straw. They're on two separate, like a separate sheet here. Everything else is on the other sheet. So these are what we're worried about or concerned about talking about today. So the reversible means that you can use both sides of the image to stamp. So you can stamp using this side or this side. So how does that work? Well, let's say we want to stamp the outline, the detail part first. And I want to stamp that I grabbed Pool Party. And we're going to stamp the outline in Pool Party, like this. Okay, nice and solid, full strength. And then I'm going to grab some scraps here to stamp off. And then you definitely want to clean the stamp in between. So if you were making 10, I would stamp all 10 of that right away before cleaning it. And then you flip this over and drop it. And you flip it over. And I want to stamp again, but I don't want to stamp full strength because it'll be really dark and it'll take away from the lines. So what I am going to do is I'm going to stamp off at second strength here, and then I'm going to stamp right on my image, and it gives it a full solid stamp. Okay, so now let's say you want to use that full jar, or the big full jar, and oh, that's going to be just, oh, that'll work. Okay, I was gonna say that block, I hate using blocks that are just the same size as the stamp because then you don't really see the edge. I like to have the block be slightly bigger. So let's try this again. So we're gonna stamp the jar, the full jar like this. Now, what you can do then is take that solid image, you're gonna stamp off again, and then you can make it look like the jar is half full of water. So that's second strength, and you can just barely see that there's a line there. Now, had I done that at full strength, it would look like this. It would look like there's a lot of water in that jar. So I'm using both the front and the back to stamp. Okay, so let's now try the full jar, and we'll also look at the straw really quick. So I'm stamping on both sides, and I clean it off in between use, and so I just used this one. You guys, I always like to stamp off before I go to my chamois to keep it as clean as possible. So let's try, oh, I probably didn't even need to clean that right yet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ink this up. Okay, so full strength. And then we're gonna flip it over and use the back side. Well, the other side. I don't know what the front and the back is. So now you flip it over. But again, I'm going to, it's really dark, so I'm gonna stamp off. And you see how I inked that up? I have that line like that. When I go to stamp at second strength, I'm gonna have that line. So I wanna go get myself a new second strength, and I'm gonna do a little bit better of a job, not getting that, whatever that triangle thing was going on. And then this is gonna go on there. So there I used the full jar. Okay, so how does the straw work? Straw works the same way. So one side of the straw has lines on it, and the other side has, it's solid. And the thing with photopolymer stamps is you can make them do pretty much what you want. So if I wanted to make a U, because I want to put something like that says I love you, and you want to make a U or a horseshoe, like, look, I just made a U. Okay, well, that's not what I really wanted to do. So what you need to do to get the stamp to get as flat as possible, you just set it down straight on your work surface, and then you just put the block on top of it. If you try to go like this to put it on, I can guarantee you're gonna have a hard time getting it to be straight. It's a little wavy. The stamp will want to take its most natural form when you have it flat on a piece of paper, and then you just put the block over the top of it. It's as straight as I think I'm gonna get that. So what I'm gonna do is show you here. Here's the line, and I only inked up part of it. So there's the straw with the stripes. Okay, so you can make your straw have one color stripe, and then what you can do is flip it over. Oh, that's not flipped over. I would have had the same stripey. And then I'm trying to get it straight, so try to maybe pull a little bit, and then I'll straighten out. And what I'm gonna do is stamp off, and then I'm gonna go over the top of it. And now I should get, it's hard to see it, but I've got a light little shadow underneath here, so that I have like the plastic part of the straw is white. You know, think a white straw with red stripes or blue stripes. Those are the straws that I remember. I haven't used this straw in a very long time, but I remember white straws with like colored striping on them. And that's exactly what you could do with the straw then. So it's got a more solid image on one side, and then it's got the stripy lines on the other. Okay, so that's jar of flowers. And then with jar of flowers, there's also a punch that coordinates with this stamp set, and it's called the jar punch. And I only remember that because it's right there. Okay, so those are the stamps in here that are the reversible, and I definitely did not have that on there all the way. So there's that. The other one that's super cool is called Mountain Air. Now, there are more in the catalog. I just, for sake of this Tip Tuesday, I just pulled 2 stamp sets that are some of my favorites. Mountain Air is another one that is super cool. And I cleaned up this past weekend. I worked upstairs in my house cleaning up my craft room and my overflow guest bedroom that really didn't make have much space for a guest. So I worked in there this weekend, and I found a beautiful card that was perfect timing for Roxanne when she said, "Oh, have you done a Tip Tuesday on the reversible stamps?" I found this card, and I'm like, "Oh my God, it's perfect." Okay, I got excited there, guys. So Mountain Air is the other one. So these two are reversible. These two are reversible. These. Every stamp in here is reversible. Look at that. The moon, the clouds, the mountains, the trees. And so how does that work? Well, let's just look at one so you can see. It's the same concept that I just showed you. Oh man, that's so little. Let's go to the next bigger one here. So one side, and this one's gonna look really cool. Let's grab shaded spruce and see once what that looks like. So let's grab this scrap, and so I have the detailed one. So my detailed one is gonna be the full strength. So that's full strength. And then let's see, we're gonna clean it, flip it over, go to the other side, back to the other side. Definitely a song. You guys, I've been busting out the karaoke for you guys a lot. Okay, so then we're gonna stamp off here. Now that's the solid image. Oh man, I don't think that works. Wait, I don't think we can do that. How does that work? It says stamps are reversible, like, yeah, okay. I think it creates a background shadowy, like they're in the background. Yeah, okay, that's maybe what that's all about. I was thinking it was more like the jar, like the moon does that perfectly. So this tree, you guys are gonna have to write in the comments and help me figure out if I got that right, that if it's only supposed to create this shadowy background. So the one thing, the next thing I want to show you is the great thing about this. It creates like the illuminating of like the northern lights and sunsets. This stuff stamped in black, and that's kind of what I didn't know if that was going to be reversible like that, but here, let me show you the sample. So I don't know. Oh, here, Deb McCahan. You guys, this swap card is probably 4 years old. I saved it because of how beautiful it is, and it's the whole Northern Lights technique. But this is what I wanted to show you. This is perfect for these reversible stamps. This is more like what I was thinking that this stamp had in mind for reversible. So this is, let's get these trees out of the way, because I think I showed you what I needed to show you with that one. But the mountain is what I was really thinking of. So let's grab our big block here. So one side has the detail and one side has the solidness. So let's grab this piece of paper, and I'm going to get my green out of here. Somehow I managed to get green everywhere. So, and I'm just going to stamp. So I don't know if that's that exact stamp that she used. I don't think we had this stamp when she made that card, because I'm pretty sure that that card is at least 3 or 4 years, and Mountain Air isn't that old. So what you would do is you would create your Northern Lights look. The chalk pastels that just came out are perfect for that. And what she did is, I'm guessing these little white dots are bleach. So it lightened up. Or it could be that white chalk marker that we used last week for game night. But what she did is she stamped her mountain. She did the coloring and then stamped, you can stamp the black images over the top. And so that's what I would use more this Mountain Air for, is for the background. I want this to go like that. And so you'll get this nice, so I would actually stamp this down off the edge so you don't get this weird border, but I'm not gonna grab a scratch piece of paper to do that because this is just to show you guys. So this is a big stamp. You can see what I'm doing. I'm really putting all my muscle into this to make sure it gets a nice even stamped image here and letting that ink transfer to the paper. Okay, so that would create that nice black ambiance. So the other thing too, I have my card that I did for, it's for ink, paper, scissors, same kind of concept where you can do like a nice cool sunset background and then you stamp whatever images, like these trees, in black to make it look like it's nighttime. Okay, so that's what like this one, that you can get that tree background. And I think that in like this, some of these cases, they aren't reversible in the sense that they are going to match up, because now if I take this off of here and set this on here, oh man, no, I just had, that's exactly, because now it goes this way. So this would create the ambiance of hill behind hill behind hill. So Does that make sense? I'm hoping it does. Oh, I need to clean this. So let's take that, put it back like that. You got to remember which side is dirty and which isn't. So, okay. I did a card with this that used, let me just show you. I got another minute here. I'm going to show you what I mean by the, okay, so this is the solid. I'm thinking purple. Let me grab a purple and purple. And we're going to do second strength, third strength, fourth strength. Okay, so work with me, guys. We're going to do full strength. This is gorgeous grape. It's really purple. Using one of my favorite colors. So you could do the purple like this. Now that's first strength. And then you could go back and now create a second strength. And then you could do a third strength. And I'm just kind of going back and forth. And so now what you can look like the mountains in the distance. So your first strength would be whatever color. Like let's say you want grays, that's fine too. But you would do you could do your dark and then a light and then a lighter one. And then you could even have gone one more, I bet, and fit this in one more. And you would have gotten in the distance. You can see it kind of looks like they're fading away as they get. And every time I stamped up a little bit and off either to the left or to the right to create it so they weren't all stacked on top of each other. So, okay. So that's what we have going on with the reversible stamps. So honestly, you can look through the catalog, and when you see this little icon and you see that dark shape, that doesn't mean you're getting two stamps. That means that the stamp gets stamped on both sides, the front and the back. And so this one, that's how that works. Now, in these cases, they are not reversible in a sense where they will stamp like you guys saw with the trees. It creates more of a shadowy background is how that would work. Mountains look cool because you can stagger them, but I don't know. I tried to look through here to see what other ones. The distinctive is easily marked. There's a lot of distinctive stamps in here. I honestly can't think of another one off the top of my head which has the reversible, but somebody also asked what that little emblem means here. That is for when somebody reaches $1 million in career sales. They get to help design a Stampin' Up! Stamp set with Stampin' Up! So, okay. Alrighty, Aphrodites. I hope you enjoyed this Tip Tuesday. And thank you, Roxanne, for putting a suggestion in the suggestion box. I love it. I love it when I can talk about tips where I know a little bit about them and don't have to really pull it out of the air. So I really thought that the reversible was a good tip, and I thought if she was asking about it, then other people were probably curious too how the reversible stamps work. So you guys are always welcome to reach out to me if you think something would be good to do for a Tip Tuesday. I always like ideas in the suggestion box. So thank you so much. You guys have a great rest of your Tuesday. And Kelly will be here on Thursday with well, she might not be here on Thursday, but she will be airing a Technique Thursday for you guys. And I'll see you live in the Hive Thursday night for the June monthly cards. All right, lots of sunshine and love and hugs to you guys. See you later. Bye.